Hey, thanks for coming to our Friday the 13th edition of the Horror Debate. I am Jeff Rowdy Jake here. He's Michael James Dio. And we are live.
Yeah, we should have done this at the theater. Anyways, to honor Friday the 13th, what perfect movie to do but Friday the 13th.
Had to do it, man.
The new reboot of 2009.
I've been pumped for 2 weeks, Mike.
I'm not going to go into that.
No, I've been excited about going to see this thing, man. I mean, it's like, it almost seems like it's like the year of remakes, We're hearing about all this stuff happening, since the Halloween thing was so popular when it came out. Now Friday the 13th, now they're talking about doing Freddy
another
over again.
Freddy. They should just,
just
shoot someone.
I just wanted to, like, rub my temples in pain, and take some Excedrin or something. But now, I'm kind of with the whole thing.
I was miffed about them redoing the Halloween and remake, and then this one I was not too thrilled with. But
wait, you weren't miffed. You liked the Halloween. You just had a few problems with like a small little Brady bill.
I knew you'd bring
but yeah,
but I'm sorry.
That, you liked it.
Redoing Nightmare on Elm Street is just wrong. I can tolerate those two, but
you know what? I have to agree with you for the simple fact that killer doesn't wear a mask, right?
Right. It's Robert Englund.
You're gonna see.
It is Robert Englund.
You're gonna see. Like I keep hearing, they're talking about Billy Bob Thornton doing this role.
Oh no.
And I'm like, wait a minute, Sling Blade is gonna be Freddy Krueger?
Yeah, it's a bad Santa.
The freaking astronaut farmer is gonna wear like knives on his hand.
Mr. Woodcock.
Mr. Woodcock.
It's gonna be Freddy.
That was pretty funny though, man. That was. I gotta give him to it on that one, man. That was pretty good.
So if Mr. Woodcock is gonna be Freddy Krueger, I'm not gonna ask what his weapon of choice is gonna be.
Exactly, man.
It'll be a glove of some sort.
Well, I'm not going there, man.
Okay.
But
let's go to Friday the 13th.
It'll be interesting though to see because, like I said, they're doing like all kinds of remakes. 2009. I don't know if there's like an original story in the works here, man. Everything
Hollywood's
I see on the list.
Hollywood's lost its original ideas, and even music has lost its original ideas.
It's true.
Every popular song now is a cover song.
But I got to tell you, I've been pumped up for at least a couple weeks.
Let's get back to Jason and Friday the 13th.
I'm trying to. Shut up for a second. Hey, look, I've been pumped up for 2 weeks, at least, talking about, man, Jason's back. Jason looks fast. He doesn't look like those zombies that you like to take him 10 minutes to walk across the
kind of zombies
freaking
again?
Floor. Those. The ones you could run and kick and then run away and then go back and kick them again and they couldn't do anything to you.
But the thing is, if you watch Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, he runs, he jumps. He wasn't. He only got that way after he died.
Right, he was a little bit faster.
Part 6.
He was a little bit faster in
He
Part 2.
He came back in Part 6. I mean, he died in Part 4.
He wasn't bad in Freddy vs. Jason. He was actually pretty mobile.
Yeah, he moved around.
He was pretty mobile.
Exactly.
In there. Okay. But I think as the movies went on, they started to make him a little quicker because they realized, hey, we can't Romero-ize this guy. Okay, we gotta like speed this guy up a little bit.
But this movie, does he move?
Absolutely, man. He's a freaking brick house on wheels, man. I loved it. I mean, I thought this was pretty cool. First of all, like I said, I started watching the trailer and I'm like, wait a minute. The first thing I said when I was watching the trailer, and you said it too, was I think we just saw every kill in the movie.
Yep, they showed you all 13 kills in the movie. It's like, what's the point? And that's another one. The preview before this movie was Last House on the Left remake.
Right.
But they do show you the entire
movie. With the eerie freaking Guns N' Roses song.
Oh, dude.
Sweet Child of Mine, right? It was like really slowed down and kind of weird.
It was like the on-acid version of it.
Yeah, so that was the first thing my son pointed out. My oldest son, he goes, dude,
Dad,
that was
I'm on
weird
acid
version of, So
I thought he was pointing out he was on acid.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to check that one out, too, later.
I'm tripping out, man. This song is messed up.
So we watched the trailer, and I got to admit, it kind of got me psyched up a little bit because Jason looked, like I said, a brick house on wheels.
Oh, the trailer for Friday the 13th. Not the trailer for...
He's swinging on folks. I mean, you saw where this was going to be just a hard-hitting, nasty splatterfest, And that's kind of what it ended up to be. It almost felt like Friday the 13th and Fast Forward to me, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Only I didn't think it was a splatter fest. I mean, because they still kind of cut away.
Yeah.
They showed you what happened and then cut away. A lot of it was fast and out of there.
True.
When I think of Splatterfest, I think of a blade going. You see the bodies fall
Blades
apart.
don't fart, Mike.
No, the blades swing,
Oh, okay.
chop some pieces and parts
Yeah.
off, and then you see spray everywhere.
Right.
And you see people pick it up, and you see blood and guts and goo drip down. That's a splatter fest.
I agree.
Where the camera and the actors and the director just loves to tight shot on gore just for gore's sake. No, this movie kept par with the original series by, creating the suspense. Where is he? There he is. Boom, you see the hit. Boom, now we're somewhere else.
Yeah, it did cut away awful quick, and I
But not too quick.
I love the bear trap,
You know
though.
what? You know what's
they
funny?
kept zooming in on
You know
that.
what's funny? They cut away too quick. Okay, the beginning of this movie, I guess it's for the stupid people who don't remember the first movie. Mrs. Voorhees, totally new actors, new everything, but they show it in grainy black and white, and it's really quick edit cuts where the lone survivor girl chops off the mom. I'm not spoiling nothing for you. Chops off.
I think most of our
Mrs.
listeners have seen the first film,
Voorhees'
Mike.
head. Now, as you remember, the original Friday the 13th, the stunt guy's hairy hands reach up after you see the head get chopped off in slow motion, and the hands are reaching for. There's no more head there. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
in this
yeah.
one, you don't see anything of that. You just see the blade come, and then you see a mannequin head splash in the water. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, come on.
Well-
You couldn't show us a stupid decapitation that a low-budget
Yeah.
1980 movie
Yeah.
did?
I don't know, Mike. It didn't hurt. It didn't bother. You know what I liked
So
about
that
this, though?
bothered me.
Wait
So-
a minute. You know what I liked about that, though? On the counterpoint to that is that I love the whole lead up. I love the whole lead up to where it almost feels like you're like somewhere between a quarter and a halfway through the film, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Boom, the title
There's
card.
the freaking title, and you
Yeah.
feel like you're starting anew.
20 minutes into the film.
I loved that. That was good stuff.
Well, because what they basically did in the first 20 minutes of the film was they summarized parts 1 and 2.
yeah.
Just condensed it real quick. But you know what's funny? They really only condensed the end of part 1 because part 2, okay, he's wearing the plastic, the pillow sack over his head.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, pillow sack.
Yeah. You kind of look like dude from The Strangers on crack.
Yeah, okay,
kinda.
or well,
Yeah,
or Town That Dreaded Sundown from
Whatever.
the original film. But yeah, The Strangers. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where they got it from.
Right.
But that's the only thing this movie had in common with part 2.
Okay.
He's wearing a sack.
Not a bad thing.
No, but
Not a
it's,
bad thing.
But so it's like,
I like the fact that they didn't rely on the old stuff to
yes,
bring this forward.
That's what I want to say. Why are they calling this a reboot when really this could just be the next movie?
Who called it a
in line?
reboot?
Oh, everyone's calling it a reboot.
Well, everybody except the people that made it.
Yeah, no, the people that made it call
They
it a
didn't call it a
Everyone's
reboot.
okay, the reason why they're calling it a reboot is because the series started to get silly. Let's shoot Jason out into space and.
Hey, when he was flogging that chick with the other chick in the sleeping bag, that
was classic.
That
I loved it,
made
yeah.
my day.
Yeah,
okay?
but the movie became a laugh fest, and they
Yeah.
said this is a reboot. We're starting over,
Well, you
so take it seriously.
Well, you got Michael
We're gonna
Myers
make it
joining
scary.
cults, right? So why can't Jason go to space, Mike? Give me one good reason Jason can't go to space. Exactly. See, you don't know.
Because it's
You don't
stupid.
know.
Because it's
Of
funny.
course it's stupid, but you know what? I laughed hard, and that's all that matters.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
But that's the thing. So they're saying this is a reboot, so you won't go in expecting to laugh.
Right. Well,
So
there
that-
was some funny stuff in this movie, though.
Yeah, but it didn't. It wasn't like
It wasn't stupid funny.
stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no stupid stick in this. I mean, one of the characters is stoned out of his gourd, and he sees a bug zapper, and he just stares at it and just goes, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I laughed at that because I
And
can.
the guy,
I can relate.
The Asian, wasn't he the guy from like Disturbia? Wasn't he like the guy who snuck into like the killer's house and got in his car? I swear to you, that's the same guy with longer hair, Mike. Look at him frantically looking it up. Look at him.
Yes, it was.
See?
You are good.
See?
You are
Because I like that guy. He's funny. He was funny in this film, too.
Oh, he was great.
One of the high points, I thought, overall in the acting was that guy.
Aaron Yu is his name.
Aaron
Way
Me?
to go, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron Me, okay.
Aaron Yu.
Yeah. So anyway, but that again, if you're gonna reboot the thing, or as I like to say, reimagine the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it probably about as well as they could do it. I mean, I didn't see where there was a lot of holes in there.
No.
I
thought this movie could easily have stood on its own.
Absolutely.
It didn't need to say, look, we're taking the story and just updating it.
Yeah.
Look, this was a whole fresh new story.
Although I did have to, I will say this. I was a little disappointed because I felt like I kind of knew what was coming up around every corner.
Did you, though?
Yeah, a few times I did, and other times I didn't.
A few times you did.
But a few times I did.
Come on, when the sheriff was knocking on the front door,
you knew he was toast,
Yeah,
right?
but you didn't know how he was going to get toasted.
Well, yeah, but it was your standard kind of kill. You know what I mean? I wanted to see.
Oh, come on. Having the camera angle go from outside through the door into the
but he
inside.
still got just impaled through an eye. Come on.
Yeah,
Mike.
no, but I'm saying the director did that camera move so you were outside, whap, and now the camera's inside. That was a cool camera move.
Okay, so kudos to the camera move and booty for the kill because it just wasn't exciting to me. You know, a couple of the ones there were a couple of good ones in there that I was like, okay, that's imaginative.
Or like, oh, come on, the girl in the who was water skiing when she's hiding.
Right.
You expected her to get off.
No, you didn't. I knew he was going to bust through that wood and he was going to do something with that freaking spear or whatever he had. You know, I didn't realize what he was going to do while it was in her.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm saying?
You knew she was going to get it, but you didn't know when and how soon.
Well, I kind of knew how he was going to do it, but like I said, he tacked something onto the end.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, okay, all right.
Well, he had to get his knife back.
Well, yeah, obviously, you know. But
but the thing I'm saying is this movie gave us a little bit of familiarity.
Yeah.
But then it said, look, here's a little twist on it to make it fresh because we're charging you $12.50.
Right. Well, that's because we saw it in digital.
Have to.
And it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't it beautiful? I mean, it's just clean as anything I've ever seen, you know. I got to say, you know, acting-wise, I knew what you were going to... I knew what was going through your head. I kept looking over at you. Every time they show, like, the pretty people... Right, what you like to call the pretty people, the WB cast or whatever it is you want to call the Summer's Eve commercial, the what else have you called it? You know, I mean, all those things wrapped into one. But honestly, I thought that everybody portrayed their parts pretty darn well. I wasn't annoyed by anybody's acting.
You know what? No, the acting didn't annoy me. It was actually good. The person in the movie who's supposed to be the jerky guy kind of looks like Tom Cruise. So it was easy to not like it.
Hey, wait a minute. His last name is Van Winkle. Is he kin to like Vanilla Ice? No, seriously. I'm not lying. That's Vanilla Ice's last name. Yeah. So like, does it say there?
No.
Is he kin to like Ice?
No.
Oh, bummer. Travis, come on, man. You would have been famous already. See if you would have been hooked up with Ice.
Anyways, he was in Meet the Spartans and Veronica Mars.
See, what did you say? That was the other comment you made. What is this, Veronica Mars? You know?
But anyways,
I thought as far as a young cast goes, it went pretty well.
Yeah, and like I said, Aaron Yu and his buddy.
Aaron Me.
Yeah.
And
that was funny. The African American guy. Oh, I'm gonna do something with music. Oh, rap music. Don't pigeonhole me.
Right.
I can like Green Day too.
What's wrong with a black man listening to Green Day?
Yeah.
So what kind of music is it? It's rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know. I mean,
that got a chuckle.
That was funny. There was some good writing in here.
Yeah, I liked it. I was very entertained.
You know what though? And okay, I got to back up a little bit.
And also points for not turning Jason into a long-haired guy that looks like Rob Zombie.
Let me back up just a minute because we were having a conversation earlier in the evening before we went out to see the film. We were actually kind of going back and just kind of like skimming through like Friday the 13th 2 and 3, and we were watching number 3, and you made the comment that you thought the set looked, I mean, you know, the environments looked like a predetermined set, whereas you had read that it actually wasn't, that they were actually on location.
Right. And
we made the comment that, you know, it's kind of like the lighting and maybe the lenses they were using, and maybe, you know, like because the wind wasn't blowing anything, you know, and it just kind of...
Part 3 kind of looks off because they filmed it in 3D,
that it kind of felt stale.
And now they morphed it back into a flat screen for
Now let me say this. This movie, the environments were much more alive.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was nice, you know, but there were a couple scenes like in the underground deal. Like where
Jason's got, you know,
like where Jason's hanging out with his little toys, you know, and his like, you know, 10-year-old cereal.
And that's the other thing. This is not a reboot because I saw the crippled guy's wheelchair down in there.
Let me get this point out.
So you see, Jason did
Let
take
me
the
get
guy.
this
That was in
point
part
out.
2.
You're
Remember the
taking
dude?
Listen for a second, all right? Don't make me smack you now. Listen, okay? Now, you got this new environment underneath here which we've never had before, right?
Right.
You know, what was the first thing that came out of my mouth?
Besides the popcorn?
Yeah, besides the popcorn, I was spitting all over you while I was trying to talk and eat at the same time. What was it? What came out of my mouth?
Oh, the same thing I was thinking.
I said, dude, is this like House of a Thousand Corpses? I mean, this is the same environment.
Yeah.
This is the same whole, like, almost setup, you know? It really felt very, very familiar in that sense, you know? Which kind of, you know, again, I don't know. Did that help or hurt it? I mean, I don't know that it did either. It just kind of felt kind of sterile when they were underneath there.
Well, I thought it just added a new dimension to the series because we never had an underground chase before.
Yeah.
We've seen Jason chasing after teenagers in the forest.
It just reminded me of, what was his name, Dr. Evil?
Yeah,
Not Dr. Evil.
yeah.
That's the guy from Michael Myers, right? or a guy from Mike Myers. What was his name? Dr. Satan.
Dr. Satan. Dr. Satan.
Yeah, so Jason kind of took on the role of Dr. Satan for a little bit here and was chasing fools from the underground labyrinth, you know? I don't know. Did that work?
Yeah.
You thought it worked?
I thought it worked.
Okay, maybe it did. I just thought the whole environment under there was kind of, yeah.
Like I said, another thing that I thought was an interesting little added twist was they were out on the lake on a boat and water skiing, and the sun was shining.
Right.
You don't see too much of that in the Friday the 13th series.
Yeah, she was topless, too.
Yeah. But the thing
I
is,
saw you light up like the sun, dude. I looked over at you. You were beaming.
Yeah, no, but
you
the thing
were
is,
unbelievable.
Get this. You've seen in the previews what happens to the water skier and the boat.
Yep.
They don't show you. They don't show you. They don't tell you what happened to the boat.
Right.
After the
You know what happened to the dude.
Yeah, we know what happened to the dude, and the boat just went. And
you know what happened to the chick.
Yeah, but what happened to the boat?
Who cares?
Which was going to full throttle.
It obviously went up on land and stopped.
Why didn't they show the boat crash?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Lack of time.
I don't know. But anyways,
it doesn't matter.
Did we like the film?
I did.
Did we enjoy the film?
You know what? And that's what I was going to say is I don't put this in the same category as Halloween because I thought the remake of Halloween was a better film. Okay, overall. What I liked about this though is that it's like bumper cars. You know, you're out there and this guy's just ramming everything, man. This guy is, like I said, the Hulk on wheels. He's out there just knocking stuff around, knocking people around, killing things that are living. I'm liking that. And you didn't have to put too much thought in it. You know,
no.
It was just fun to see Jason kind of come back. I will say this though. Let me just say this. And this isn't to hurt any feelings. Okay? This isn't to hurt any feelings. But I gotta say, the movements of Jason, overall, you can tell the difference between this new dude and like a Kane Hodder. Okay? You can tell the difference in the gait of the way Jason moved.
Well, because this guy is alive, whereas Kane Hodder's Jason was killed in part
but that's my favorite
and resurrected.
That's my
so that's
favorite.
why he was a walking zombie.
He's my favorite because he's still quick, but he's kind of brooding. You know, he's like
and he's got
huge and
parts falling off of him. You notice in parts
he didn't have anything falling off of him.
In parts 8 and 9, when the camera goes behind him, you see his spine.
Well, good for him. But what I'm saying is that I like the movements, the way he portrays the character. You feel that's Kane Hodder's performance. This guy I wasn't quite used to. Maybe it'll take a couple more viewings to, you know what I mean? I didn't get used to him by the end of the film. He moved different. It was almost like Jason 2.0. Or something like that.
Derek Mears is his name, by the way.
But it didn't hurt. I mean, the dude looks just as weird without the makeup as he does like in the makeup. I saw him. He's like a convict. You know, I mean, I look at him. It's unbelievable. You know, I mean, he could have just gone without the makeup and we would have been all good. But anyway, you know, overall, yeah, I had a great time, Mike. I did. I was smiling pretty much throughout. You know, I mean, there was some gratuitous sex scenes for you in there too, Mike. Did you enjoy those?
And you too.
Because you're the one that's always saying, "Oh, it doesn't have nudity." 2 stars. You know, I mean, come on.
I don't take it away for not having it. I give it 1 for
there was enough stuff bouncing in your face in this flick. You probably give this 6.5 stars. I'm seeing it from here.
Hey, they were hot though.
They see what I tell you. See, but 6.5 stars at least for Mike, I'm sure. But overall, yes, this is how a slasher film is supposed to be done.
Yep.
This is how you tell the story without getting boring or too critical or trying to get into the characters too much. This was just kind of down and dirty, Bumper car horror. Let's go out and hit as many things as possible. I loved it. I thought I had a great time.
Yep.
I saw
had a
you
good time.
smiling.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
You know,
I don't like it when they retread and give me the same old, same old. I know it's hard to be original when you've got 12 movies in the series, 11.
Yeah.
But I had a good time with this
you know
one.
what? After a while, you just kind of forget about all those last few, and you just kind of go back to what was important. I mean, I'm not saying, you know me, how I always say I like my horror more realistic. I don't like it too far out there in the boonies.
But putting Jason in space was okay.
Putting Jason in space was not.
That was beyond the boonies, dude.
Wait a minute.
That was beyond the moon.
It was not okay for continuity of the story. It wasn't okay for realism. It was okay to get me a laugh or three. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. But as far as continuity and making the Friday the 13th series, like, believable, no. But then again, who's going to believe this deformed little kid jumping out of the lake every chance he gets? You know what I mean? So
that was the thing.
So we lost credibility after number 2, right?
Yeah.
Or number 1, So, I mean, so what?
No, I love this film all the way up until the end.
Because you knew what was going to happen, right?
Well, no, because this movie...
A spoiler alert, by the way.
Well, no, it's just I'm saying the special effects department, I think, quit before their job was finished. Because, at the end of every movie, someone gets Jason, right?
Okay.
The whole point of watching the movie is how are they going to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I know what you're saying. I know where you're going.
They went
I know where you're
real
going.
cheap on this one.
Yeah, they did.
A real tight camera angle. You see, it could have been someone holding a sparkler by his head because the camera angle was so tight. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, they wrap him up and dump him in the river.
Well, now, wait a minute now. I know where you were. I thought you were talking about the very end of the film. You were talking about the thing that happened right before the very end of the film.
And leading to the very end.
But the very end of the film is what disappointed me because I just knew exactly where it was going and what was going to happen.
Yeah, they set it up for the sequel.
And you're right, they did go cheap on the ending overall.
Yeah, I wanted
on both
to see
parts of the ending, they went kind of cheap on that, which, that was detracting a little bit.
Yeah. I hate it when characters in a movie make a stupid move simply to keep the movie going, and that's what they did.
I mean, let's face it, they had a perfect opportunity to do something pretty spectacular there.
Exactly.
With all of the props that were there.
Exactly. And they just, let's just
happen.
Here's the big climactic scene and the camera cuts.
Yeah.
And now it's morning.
Yep.
Sun's out. Let's go to the lake.
And we're going to hang out at the lake.
Yeah.
Of all places, we're going to hang out at the lake.
Yeah. It's oh, come on. So,
okay, so Mikey, what are you giving this thing?
I'm going to give, I want to give it 4 stars, but I'm going to give it 3 stars just because that ending just was such a letdown.
And what else was a letdown? Because I can't get the negatives out of you too much here. What were your negatives for the story?
I didn't have any negatives for the story. Actually, I went after the first 5 minutes of that quick black and white, summary of chopping Mom's head off and to summarize that. I didn't like any of that.
Okay.
I didn't think any of it was necessary.
Okay.
Especially because they had a character tell you the story.
Well, but here's the thing. Here's what they were trying to do, Mike. It was a dramatic push, okay?
Yeah,
it was
to bring you up to speed,
well,
to start you off with a
But you know what?
bang.
Honestly, I don't think it was so much to bring you up to speed as it was to bring you up to that point where I marked out, I think everybody marked out except you, when, boom, it went black and showed the words Friday the 13th.
Oh, no, that was after.
That's what I'm saying, but all of that you didn't like.
Oh, no, I liked the second half where he's chasing after them with the bear trap and the tent and, hey, let's go.
Oh, okay.
that
So you're
was
just talking
awesome.
about the very first part.
The very first part.
Okay.
Chopping Mom's head off right there.
Okay.
They didn't need those 5 minutes.
No, they
there
didn't.
Because the character tells you what
You're right.
happened.
That's true. That's true.
So they didn't need it. So
And she didn't look too much like Betsy Palmer, did she?
Not at all.
No.
And like it said, an opportunity to have a good special effect, and they blew it.
Yeah.
Just off camera, mannequin head in a puddle.
Oh,
what's the point of that?
I'm almost going to agree with you. I think it's somewhere between a 3 and a 4. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give it a 4. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I had a good time. And again,
I had a great time.
That's what's more important to me.
I had a lot of fun.
And I'm going to get the Blu-ray of this, and I'm going to watch it again. And hopefully it'll have some extra goodies in there. And but I had fun. I think that's more important than worrying about nitpicking it. Friday the 13th
like I said, I want to give it 4.
Something that you can nitpick.
I want to give it 4, but
Yeah.
like I said, the ending was just oh, come on.
Yeah.
They didn't really. Oh man, let's walk out of the
Yeah, I
theater
mean,
now.
we're talking about a pretty straightforward slasher here that does what it does well.
Yes. Yeah.
But doesn't give you a lot of extra goodies.
Yeah, there was a little bit of shaky camera when they're running.
I knew we couldn't get it through a debate without you talking about a shaky
But
camera.
you know what?
I knew it.
99% of
What
the
do you
film,
want? Shock
I-
absorbers on your freaking camera?
Yes, it's called a
come
steady
on.
cam.
No.
Or
what,
you know
what it does is it adds a little bit of like you're there.
Yeah, but you got to admit, it's nighttime. They're running in a forest, and with that shaky camera, you got to admit, there were some scenes where you went, "What the hell am I looking
You know,
at?"
it's because we were sitting kind of close too. You know, when we were watching on this IMAX screen, which is just huge. You know, but it was beautiful. You know, I thought the clarity was just off the
But
chart.
I mean,
Awesome.
overall, the fight scenes, they weren't. I had a great time with this.
Yeah, yeah. So my final verdict, I'm going to give it just the edge on the 4. I think the 4 is where it's at. I can totally understand your point of view on it, though, except for the fact.
I think it's amazing because after the first 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I didn't like. I was going in,
Yeah.
not liking this film.
Yeah.
Not too thrilled about remakes
Right.
or reboots or reboots
But it won you over
or
overall.
whatever. But it did win me
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
Good film. Check it out.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff. We'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.